everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Always Open. We're here in Los Angeles doing a whole month of very special episodes with some very special guests. And today, I am so excited for this episode. We have some amazing people with us, starting with Charlotte Avery.
That's
welcome.
Me.
And very special guest, Chief Creative Officer of Mythical Entertainment, Stevie Wynne Levine.
Hi. You got it right. Every part of it. You did it.
I get so nervous when I have to remember.
And Barbara Dunkelman.
And Barbara Dunkelman. Yay. Barbara Julie Dunkelman.
Julie, huh?
Yeah.
BJ.
Listen.
No, I think it's cool. It's like the wholesale store.
Yeah. When I was growing up, I actually tried to call myself BJ.
Before you knew.
I had an older cousin who went, you don't want to
Older cousins are so important.
They're vital in this situation.
It could have gone the other way. It could have been an older cousin that was like, yes,
try it out.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that is I don't know why it's bad, but then when I aged, I think 5 years.
I think it's ownable now.
Yeah,
I
BJ
think you should
Novak.
rock it. Yeah.
That's true. What's
Other
BJ Novak's actual name?
Barbara Julie. I think. Somewhere in that neighborhood.
Well,
Julia.
Very happy to have you both. What's your middle name, Charlotte?
Avery.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's good.
I just
like
decided to drop the real last name for content and use the middle name as my last name. But I did not know there's an English actor named Charlotte Avery. So I've SEO shot myself in the foot.
Well, to me, you're more popular than that person because I don't know who
I don't know who that is
I
either.
have no idea who that bitch is.
Yeah.
I don't even care.
She's saying that about you right now.
Yeah. Well, honestly, if I changed my Twitter handle from Cheeks to Charlotte, I think I would get out on top in the Google results.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's a war.
Yeah.
You're throwing it down.
Cheeks is such a great nickname.
I love it so much.
Do you have any nicknames? I mean, Stevie is
a
nickname.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had somebody who on their IG story yesterday. I really like it when people name their pets or their babies or anything after me, but I had one yesterday and they were like, "This is my cat named after Stevie Nicks and Stevie W. Levine." And I was like, "It's after Stevie Nicks." Yeah. Like you can't
Also,
include me in that.
That's like someone being like, "I'm actually 2% Filipino."
Well, no one names anything after me. So Barbara,
that for some reason was really sad the way you said that.
They named their cat
Hey,
Barbara.
BJ though, a lot of things are named after BJ.
That's true.
Some really good stuff too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Although
Okay.
I think was it Rhett who has a cat named Barbara?
Yeah.
Or a dog
no,
named
a
Barbara.
dog. I'm like, yeah,
That's
a
cat.
cat. No, Rhett hates cats, but
Rat
he has
hate
it.
what?
Yeah, Rhett hates cats.
Is this a riddle?
hates.
Rat hates cats. It's a sphinx.
Yeah.
We had
leave it at that.
the first time I met you, Stevie, was actually many years ago at Rooster Teeth in Austin because we had you and then Rhett and Link in town
Yeah.
to do some Rooster Teeth productions, including Always Open. We had Rhett and Link on the show, and that's where I learned that Rhett's dog is named Barbara.
And he has a new dog named Sean, and Sean's eyes go like this direction.
Whoa.
So he can see everything.
Like a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Every Sean.
Yeah. Rhett and Link both have a bunch of dogs now. And I was the only one that had dogs in our relationship. And then they became dog people.
And now you all have dogs.
Yeah.
You have a cat.
I have a cat.
You have a cat.
Her name is Yogurt.
I have a cat too. I don't talk about her though.
No, you don't?
Yeah.
Okay. Secret cat? Well, now I'm
Is
not
this-
sure if
does
I
this
should
need
talk
to be
about
com-
my cat.
No, you should talk. If you only
My
have a
daughter
cat. Yeah.
threw up this
Barbara.
morning and I found her eating it.
My cat has a flower problem. Does your cat have a flower problem?
Like she can't stop buying flowers?
She can't stop buying
off
flowers.
the street on Highland?
Yes. No, she just I don't know.
She just
she
eats
can't
them?
learn it. She's like, I will eat this and I will throw up. And then I
Yes.
will eat it again and I will throw up again. And it's like, have you made the connection to this yet?
With flowers
No.
in particular?
Yes.
That
Any
happens-
flowers.
We can't put flowers on our table. My roommate has a cat as well. And then I have my plants. I have a couple monsteras that if it dangles too low or if once I put an armchair too close to a leaf going over and she just got up and gnawed she didn't chew the leaves. She chewed the stem just enough that it was hanging off. And I wanted to throw her out of a window.
Yeah. See, this is why I don't talk about my cat because she does shit like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Almost everyone I know has a cat that's a little shithead.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, but everyone's like,
That's
get a
the
cat.
vibe.
Cats are the best. And
But
I'm like,
mine's a perfect angel.
other than when they eat your plants and flowers.
Yeah. Yes.
No, that's good.
Other than the way that she rules your life. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I do everything for her, and I live to serve. But she's amazing and a perfect princess.
Perfect princess yogurt.
I have
Yogurt.
a new puppy
Ooh.
who's very, very cute.
What type?
Can I-
Yeah, do you have a picture?
I have 2 dogs. They're both mutts. This is my partner and my 2 dogs.
Oh my gosh. So
Oops,
cute.
sorry.
For those of you who are just listening to the audio
Very
podcast,
good.
very cute dogs.
Yeah.
Very cute. And her name is weird. Her name is Tite.
I thought you meant her name
Tay.
is weird.
Her name is weird.
Come here, weird.
Weird.
But I when I was a toddler, I couldn't say tortilla. And I guess I was like very vocal about my needs for food. And so my parents have stories of me going out to restaurants and just screaming tite, which, yes, does it sound like titty? Of course. Does that make sense for me? Yeah, it does.
Checks out.
Um,
Yeah.
But we adopted her from Mexico and she's tortilla colored. And so I was like,
Tite.
tite. That makes
Tite.
sense. It also means penis in one of the Filipino languages.
2%.
But
you should have another dog
yeah.
and name it Fanny. Just so you also have the word vagina in British slang.
Yes, I would
Yeah.
love to have penis and vagina dogs, but right now I only have a penis dog.
Tite.
Wouldn't that be a wiener dog?
Yeah,
Oh, that would
Yeah.
actually be good.
yeah.
But he's not a wiener dog.
No,
No.
she's
So
not.
Do
Yeah.
you call her Titi? Or like little like nicknames?
We Teterboro Airport.
That's good.
Little Teet.
That's
Teeter.
good. Love that.
Little Teet is kind of weird when you're out in public, but it's fine.
Yeah.
You know.
At least it's not tit.
Yeah.
Tit.
Little
Tit.
tit. A
Little-
bunch
little
of people
tit.
turn around.
Well, you can call
Yeah.
a cat whatever you want because like people have to come into your home to hear the deranged bullshit.
That's very true.
You know, like I'm walking around the corner, I'm like, sweet mother.
That's good.
I want to be a fly on the wall in your apartment just to hear the difference.
Watch out, she's gonna try to get you.
All right. Well, let's get into our first little icebreaker question. So this one, hot off the presses. Do you feel like the craziest, most experimental stage in your life has passed or is yet to come?
Ooh. That's a big icebreaker question. Are they
Yeah.
usually so weighty?
Yeah, it's like an ice cap.
Yeah.
Breaker.
Sometimes they're either super weighty or super like meaningless. Like one time we
Yeah.
asked what your favorite font was,
Oh.
Oh.
which do you have an answer to that? 'Cause
Wingdings, too.
I know.
Specifically too.
I think my answer would be too boring. I'm like Helvetica.
Yeah.
It's the
I mean, it's
perfect. You know?
classic, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably go with Futura Demi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
This question a little more
craziest,
complicated.
most experimental.
Yeah.
What does it say about me that my mind goes to like thumbnail A/B testing and drugs? Like those are the two, like, you know.
Two different sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
You get the
Where are
same
you now?
dopamine hit from a good thumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
As content creators, once you get that perfect one, perfect facial expression, you're like, oh,
Mm-hmm. You're like,
We'll do
I'm
one right now for
so
this."
high
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now. I don't know. I mean, we were talking about hair before. I feel like there's a lot of hair experiments to come in my life.
Yeah.
There's some drug experiments to come, I think, you know? There's some tidal thumb experiments. There's some I
all
haven't done that
different types.
food thing where you like sit in the dark at the restaurant. You know, you
What?
gotta
Have you heard about this? Shani?
Yeah. You like
It's-
go
No.
to it. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm sure there's one here in LA, but when I lived in Montreal, there was a restaurant called Noir. I believe it was called Noir.
It's
Yeah.
appropriate.
Black.
Yeah.
Where it's like pitch black in the restaurant, and the servers that they hire are usually like hard of seeing or like blind.
Uh-huh.
So they're more accustomed to kind of like navigating their way in a dark
Oh,
space.
okay.
Or in any space rather. But you like eat completely in the dark essentially. So it's like supposed to be more sensory for your taste buds
Okay.
because you're not seeing,
I have a pitch.
Yeah.
Blindfolds.
Yeah.
right? A little easier
that.
for
I don't
everyone
know.
involved.
Hey, you know,
And- That's an experiment that I could also do in the future with food.
That's
yeah.
true,
And
yeah,
other
at
things,
home.
really.
Yeah.
At home. Other things at home, too.
Is this a recent thing? Like I'm
No,
unfamiliar with this. No?
No.
I think it's been around quite a while.
Don't you really want to do it now?
I mean, I lived in a suburb where the power always went out. So I mean, like
trying to eat your
just
oatmeal
go to
in the
my
dark.
parents' house. Yeah.
Be like such a weird date experience, you know, because you're like there with someone. but
Yeah,
you're
that
like,
would be strange.
I can't see you.
You don't look like your profile picture, maybe.
You're a lot shorter or taller than I thought you'd be.
You're darker than I was expecting.
afraid that like for some reason I couldn't get like the bite to my mouth if I couldn't see it.
Like
is that something?
Which is like weird,
I'm
is
worried about that
muscle
too.
memory?
Because you changed the slightest thing about my eating habit. Like I
Yeah.
burned my left hand once while cooking, so I had to eat with I'm left-handed. I had to eat with my right hand, and I felt like I was holding like Jello. Like I could not scoop anything. I had to hold the bowl in front of my mouth.
It is weird when you take away something that's just like what you're accustomed to physically like that. Like trying drinking this with my eyes closed. It's like, okay, I have to like
You
find
did it.
my lip.
You did it though. Yeah.
But
So yes, there's many experiments on the horizon for me.
Crazy things coming up.
I
Might
feel like
turn off the lights tonight.
I feel like I've never been experimental. And I don't know if I ever will be. I was a pretty like tame teenager.
Yeah, I was a good kid.
Didn't really drink much. Didn't do any drugs. Nothing
Mostly
like
fighting
that.
and gambling.
BJ Dunkelman. out here
Jay
on the street.
Dunkelman hitting the tables.
And then that continued. You're just sort of like always good. You want to be bad, is what you're saying?
I did some other things like in my like mid 20s.
Tell me all the bad things you've ever done.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, mom and dad like smoked weed.
Do your parents watch this show?
Yeah,
Listen,
usually.
they do.
Usually.
Okay. I told my mom for my last podcast that she wasn't allowed to listen to anything.
This show used to be a lot more sexual. Like we used to talk about sex and like stuff of that nature a lot more frequently. Now it's more about like relationships, mental health and stuff like that. But
But there's still room for sex.
Did they watch
always.
the sex stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys talk about it? Do you unpack it?
Oh, I think one time they asked me a question of something I brought up and I said, this is not allowed.
Huh.
If you want to watch the show, that's of your own volition.
Yeah.
But we shall not discuss anything that I talk about on the show.
Okay, I like those ground rules.
Yeah.
Back to everything that you've done that's bad.
Yeah. So smoke weed.
And then like
Drove without a seatbelt.
Yeah.
I did one of my boyfriends I had, we
Gone girled him?
did some like shibari stuff.
Oh, shit.
What is that?
It's like
rope
Japanese
stuff.
ropes,
Oh.
stuff like that.
Okay, we went from like this show isn't about sex to, okay.
I mean,
Fish,
when
yeah.
I think experimental, I think like
Sure.
sexually vicarious
Yeah.
or whatever it is. So like that's like some of the less vanilla stuff that I've done, I guess. But I've never really been interested in anything else. Like nothing crazy.
So
in terms of
nothing in your
drugs.
future. You're saying there's not really anything in your past and nothing in your future then.
I mean, never say never.
I
So I
wouldn't.
don't know. Maybe my most experimental years are ahead of me.
Yeah.
I think so.
Who knows?
We have to there's at some point where you get to like the I don't give a fuck time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to that, you know? Like, you know, older lady, my whole house is green, as is everything that I own. What are you going to do about it? Like, that sounds fun to me.
Just picking a color.
Picking a color.
I know. I've
you
seen
know?
that.
Yeah.
Purple
Yeah.
is like definitely like an overriding choice.
Yeah.
I worked at a home when I was in high school.
a lot of purple there.
It's a royal dye.
I didn't know that they were allowed to really like
Express
you
that.
know.
It's not a prison. It's an assisted living community.
Touche.
You know, I mean, we did just go through a like worldwide pandemic. So, you know, in terms of like crazy, are things going to get crazier? I hope not. I
Yeah,
hope
normal.
Unless it's, like,
boring,
good crazy.
cool.
Yeah.
I also, I don't know, like this might be too personal of a question to ask, but feel free to answer if you feel comfortable. But do you plan on having children at any point in time for both of you? Or it's like kind of
I would like to.
Yeah?
Yeah.
TBD.
I don't think that's crazy.
Oh, no. Whoa. I know it's a very personal question for some people. Like,
It is a very personal question.
Yeah.
And I
It
will
could be
secret them away in the
experimental.
basement like Boo Radley.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I want to. That's definitely feels like a very different stage of my life.
yeah.
To answer the icebreaker, hoops, hit the mic because I'm so crazy and experimental.
Whoa.
Wow. Punk rock, you know?
Ooh.
As far as like, is the most experimental part of my life behind me?
Yeah.
as a post-transition trans woman, yes,
Yeah.
I hope so.
I mean, unless
I hope so.
experimental in other ways.
Huh? Yeah, no, I mean, like, I'm probably going to get into rope play at some point.
Hell
I
yeah.
mean, that's, but
Shibari.
Shibari. Yeah. Isn't that the name of that new dark restaurant that opened up? No, but I'm good on like the really big, like earth-shattering personal
I would say
experimentation.
transitioning is a
Yeah,
very
I'm good.
big.
I mean,
actually.
having kids though, like that is terrifying to me. Like my answer is no, because I like taking care of myself and the animals and my partner.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, how does it even happen that you also care for little
It seems
I don't know how people
impossible.
do it.
I don't know how
you
people do
know?
it.
And
Especially,
what
yeah.
if they're baby geniuses too? That's like a whole nother element you have to think about.
I think it's
you
worse
want
if-
dumb ones.
you want stupid kids, yeah,
I
like me.
think it's worse if they're stupid though, because then it's like I'm stupid, so I can't help a kid.
Why would you say that about yourself?
Barbara Julie Dunkelman.
I'm not stupid, but I don't feel like I could keep up with the educational system.
Oh, you
like
don't want to
helping
like
with
do
homework.
homework?
I don't want to help a kid with homework.
Okay, so you
yeah.
don't want to do you want to have kids?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
No,
the
maybe.
homework.
'Cause of
That's really the
homework.
only reason.
Yeah.
And also because I feel like, for better or worse, I'm too much of a selfish person to care about anything besides like me, my partner, and potentially some pets.
Okay.
Mhm.
And that's
Alright.
pretty much.
I think that's fair. I'm afraid of the world. So that's
Valid.
my thing. you
Valid.
know?
Same.
And I don't, I'm afraid of people. Afraid of people in the world.
Especially little people
And
Small
well,
people.
Okay.
that are
Like
children.
children. Yeah.
Specifying.
That was,
specifying.
yeah.
People
Ones
that
you
are
need
little
to feed
in
and
a
clothe.
juvenile way.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what?
Do you want me to just let you keep?
Just keep. No,
Yeah.
you keep
Okay.
going. You just
Well, I
keep
think the
going.
reason I ask is because, like, tying into do you think the most experimental part of your life is yet to come? Like, if you have kids, does that limit you or does that open you up? Versus, like, if you are, like, I want to be an old lady with a whole greenhouse,
Yeah.
doing all types of different things, maybe all types of drugs and shibari, who
Yeah.
knows? But I feel like if you have a responsibility to children, it maybe limits that a
Mhm.
little bit.
Although science experiments,
But
you have kids, think about all the science experiments.
and if they
that
start a
you can
YouTube
do.
channel, all the thumbnails you can make for them.
Yes, it would be best if I had children to start more content making. Because
Yeah,
I was
I-
thinking I don't do enough of that.
I
Some
think
people do
that's a
that.
great idea. Is
Yeah.
using children for content.
Yeah.
I think that's always good.
Should we make that the title
Never
of this
hairy.
episode?
Yeah, you can make it just my face.
Have you seen all the Russian children channels?
No.
These are like gigantic channels, millions upon millions of views on each video.
Mhm.
And it's like small Russian children, I don't know, like playing in a sandbox. Like it's like the weirdest. And now that I'm saying this out loud, I'm like, this is creepy in a way that I didn't realize it was creepy, but I don't think
I am
it's
wondering
only
how you came across it.
because I have to look at every channel on the internet that exists.
Very true.
It's very weird though. It's a subgenre. There's like a handful of very popular Russian children.
I believe it. I mean, because like there's like a
I was lying.
oh
No.
my god, Nit, fuck. No, I just like because for one, there are and for every community I'm into, there are 10 even bigger, massive interests and communities and channels that I have never heard of. And two, children's content is
Yeah.
just never going to not. It's always just a behemoth. Like every once in a while, I dip my toe into like weird videos. It's like Spider-Man and Elsa get a divorce, and you're like, what, man?
Hey.
Like, and
Is that
it's
my
just like,
fanfic at play?
okay, who got my notebook? But like it gets super weird, super quick.
Sorry.
Like I just remembered the what was it? Johnny? Yes, Papa? The like song about like telling lies.
Oh, isn't there like
It's like a weird little animation and it's like a fucked up kid. It's
Mm-mm.
you may have pushed
Kids'
it down,
content
'cause
is-
it had a
is
moment.
weird.
It's very uncanny.
You may
valley,
have
and,
pushed it down.
and I feel like Russians would be on top of that.
Yeah.
Like they know what people
Yeah.
want to watch. They want to watch a guy in an Adidas jumpsuit at the top of a derelict radio tower with
Mhm.
no safety clips.
Is that in the video you were talking about? Is that that's a different thing?
It's all a slurry. It might as well be one video
now
that
take
goes
a
20
child
years.
and put them up there.
I'm
No
not
safety
saying they
clips.
haven't.
Do those videos make your palms sweat as much as mine? Those like
Which ones?
where people are like super high up on like some like they're scaling a building of some sort without any sort of safety.
Didn't they just make like a movie about just two women at the top of a very tall tower? They did.
I feel like I would have watched that. Two women.
Two women.
Period.
And at the end, they're like, "What if we kissed?"
Yeah.
At the top
I
of the
realized
tower.
like we were looking for something to watch the other day, and my partner was like bringing up. She's also like she's like a sports girl, and like we're opposites in a lot of ways, and so oftentimes what we watch is like going to be a compromise for one of us, but there's some things that fit in between. And she was bringing up all these movie choices, and I noticed that like none of them had like female protagonists in them, and I was like, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch that. And then I was like, oh my God, I just don't want to watch anything that doesn't have a female protagonist in it. I've gotten to that point. I've gotten to that gay point in my life.
It's a good point. I don't know. I think that's a completely valid way to live
but then
life.
you start
also
looking
need
at
more of
everything going, oh, yeah, we need more movies with female protagonists in them.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten to the point of gay film watching where like someone's like, "Do you want to see this movie? No Hard Feelings," and I was like, "Nah, it feels a little straight."
This one with Jennifer Lawrence, right?
Yeah. I was just like, I don't know. It's not really moving. If it was about like two girls.
What is the best? What is the best gay movie?
I just watched Suspiria, the remake. That's not it.
Oh,
I mean, it might be, but
I feel like lesbian movies have a track record of being really bad.
really?
Yeah.
it's not awesome out there.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of watching the beginning of the new season of Just Like That, the Sex and the City reboot.
That's like, isn't that the opposite of a lesbian show?
Yeah. Although they are really trying to push a lot of new types of relationships and like representation, which I think is a good move, but it is very much like, this is
They're trying
to put representation in for straight people to be like, wow, good, they're doing a great job.
I love it when like a TV show does that, like Law and Order, which I'm not going to get into it, but I've been watching a lot of SVU. But there'll be a point where it's like a gay victim and conversion therapy is brought up, and someone's like, Mariska Hargitay will be the stand-in for just like the American progressive that's like, these people seriously think that gay people can just stop being gay? And it's like, no one's talking
Spikes
like that.
the
Yeah,
camera.
I know. It's like
Someone in the background
and
snapping.
it's like, someone in like the live studio audience is like, yes, yes.
The producer's like, that's a TikTok.
It's like, guys, we just did social justice. I feel a spirit award.
Yeah. Everyone's shaking hands after.
They have to stop down for 25 minutes to like congratulate themselves.
That's what I do after every episode of Always Open. Yeah. Good job.
Is this coming out after Pride is over?
Yeah, when is this coming
This
out?
comes out, I think, either the last week of July or the first week of August.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pride is never over.
Cannot be proud at that time.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Pride
So we need to
stops.
We actually have
tone
to,
it
we're going to have
down.
to cut out every time we actually say the word gay or
Yeah.
lesbian.
Oh, you
I'm
folded
used to
Don't
that.
Say Gay Bill into the
Yeah.
show. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
That we're actually renaming the show. Just don't say gay. All right. Well, let's get to our questions that we have. We
All
have
gays open.
all gays open. I actually like that. No. All right.
Yeah.
Well, here's the questions.
I'm just going to be on my phone. I found the movie. It's called Fall from 2022.
I've never heard of
It's
it.
two women on a tall tower.
Is that the whole?
No, it's a tower.
Wow.
You could probably lick it. Subtitle: Fear reaches new heights.
Is it?
That's
kind of
also
like,
my favorite
clever.
lesbian movie.
Yeah.
I'm falling for you. Is it kind of like Phone Booth where the whole movie takes place on the tower?
Yeah, or like that Blake Lively shark movie. She's on a
I
rock.
didn't see that.
I don't
Really, guys?
I love
No.
Blake Lively. How do
But
I
I
know
should.
this
Yeah, I
movie?
should have
it's a
watched
woman
it.
yeah,
You don't. You know what? All you need to tell me is Blake Lively's on a rock.
On a rock for the whole
And
movie.
she's on a rock.
I'm good.
And can I just say, on a roll?
I love you. All right. Well, these questions were written into our email, which you could write into if you have a question for the show. It's always open at roosterteeth.com. So here is the first question for us. I'm a 22-year-old, and 6 months ago, I got out of a 6-year relationship. As we both matured and changed over time, so did our relationship to one another, navigating things like long distance and even ethical non-monogamy. I think the world of my former partner. I enjoyed all of our time together and I don't regret any of it. But I also don't regret agreeing to break up because we had both grown into such different people with such different needs, and maintaining our relationship was threatening to become more of a burden to both of us, so we agreed to end things there. Since then, I've maintained a very positive friendship with them. Just this week, however, I learned that my ex has started seeing someone new. Plenty of time has passed, and I don't feel cheated or anything. They've done nothing inherently wrong, but I couldn't help but take it personally when I learned that one of the first things they've done together is go on a road trip together, something that I had regularly expressed an interest in, but my partner refused. I'm not looking for am I the asshole type ruling or any validation. I'm just wondering if you guys had any advice on moving on from a relationship that you don't have many negative feelings towards, or how to navigate the situation if I want to maintain a friendship with this person.
I was trying to do some math there. It's 22.
16, I think.
Yeah.
I was also doing the same math the whole time.
Oh, wow. Yeah. 22 years old, 6-year relationship. Yeah. 16.
Ooh.
I mean, that's pretty young. I mean, like, that's not really an autonomous age, 16 to 22. So you can maybe find out you like road trips after that. You know, you picture that's high school, college, maybe you don't have a lot of time for road trips.
Or maybe, and this is going to sound kind of harsh, maybe they just didn't want to go on a road trip with you.
Ooh, burn!
It's not to say that you're not a good person or not enjoyable to be on a road trip for, but if two people are not really working together and you don't really want to spend that much time together, maybe that's kind of an indication that there's some disconnect there.
I don't know, like 16, the person I was at 16 versus 22,
completely
like,
different.
Wholly different.
Yeah.
So like being with someone for that period of time, I mean, good on you for ending the relationship.
Right.
I don't know how you held on for so long. I can't imagine. I mean, like 16, I had like a live journal, I think. Like
my first relationship was also 16 to 22.
Really?
Yeah. My first boyfriend ever, I started dating at 16 and we broke up at 22 before I moved to Austin, actually.
Oh.
How did that go? Not the breakup part, but
was it fun breaking up?
It was the worst because I thought he was going to be like my person forever.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to get married. I thought we were going to have kids back then.
I've heard of this.
And it sounds like this person is very mature about the situation, which I commend you for being at 22. It's not easy to like end a relationship and not feel like, oh, I'm awful or this person's awful or like whatever it is.
Oh, 22. I was also just an awful person.
God. Never, ever again. Never, ever again.
No.
There were some fun things about being 22. Like I would say like 21 to 24 were like my fuckboy years, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm just going to be kind of an asshole, you know? And then I just like grew up.
What could go wrong? No one can touch you.
Exactly.
You're 22 years old.
Yeah. You're still developing. Your brain is not quite all wrinkly yet.
Is stupid.
Yeah.
But keep drinking.
Well, have either of you been in a relationship where it ended amicably, or are all the relationships you've been in kind of rough breakups?
I mean, there's been some that are more amicable than others. Like people saw it coming. It was kind of inevitable. I mean, like, I don't know. I had some pretty not great breakups in the past couple of years. So it's not like I'll just tell this person, it doesn't get better. No, it definitely does. I don't know. I mean, like amicable breakup sounds cool, but like I've had exes where I like keep in touch and then I reach a certain point where I'm like this is like I had one ex like a while ago that was like the most serious relationship and it was not super healthy and I stayed in touch and I was like, this is the adult thing to do. And it's like, actually totally chill to just cut ties, block that number, unfollow them because their tweets are bad.
Well, it seems like like this person who wrote in is trying to stay friends with their ex and is having a hard time with it because they're feeling some type of way of seeing this person do these things with this new partner.
I mean, lesbians like are friends with their exes. I've never been that way because I've always been like the relationship that I had with you was of a time period, and I'm not going to like switch that relationship with you in order to just be friends with
Right.
you. And also like, yeah, I think it can get unhealthy where you aren't able to fully switch your relationship and you still are talking to them, and it's like that's not healthy for
It's not healthy.
anyone in the situation. So I don't really have any exes that I'm like anyone that I had a relationship with.
Yeah.
I don't have a relationship with now.
I think the tough thing this person is going to be dealing with is something that I dealt with when I ended that 6-year relationship is like that person probably was your best friend and you talked to them multiple times a day, every day for 6 years, especially when you're that young and that's like all you know. It's very weird and jarring to then have that end.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're like, well, I'm not going to go cold turkey on you, but maybe you should.
Sometimes it's the best thing. I don't know if it's actually like working out and amicable. That's cool. Like the thing about being like, I mean, kind of jealous over what this person is doing with their new boo. I mean, like
Road tripping.
Yeah, road tripping with boo. Come on. I think probably the most important thing is to realize like you should, if you feel that way, you feel that way. You can't like just squash that. You
Sure.
should recognize that it's okay to feel that way. It's about what you do after you feel it. Like you can't be like hitting them up and be like, the fuck?
Yeah. You didn't want a road trip with me and I really wanted it.
Yeah, but like, if you start to feel ashamed because you feel jealous, like it's natural. Like you just got to rock with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toxic shame. I got therapy today, baby.
Hey, I need to learn about toxic shame. I don't think I've ever learned that term
Toxic
before.
shame?
Toxic shame. Toxic
I think we all
shame.
know about that.
Yeah, he's an asshole. Shane.
You got to cut the shames out of your life.
But also, I know this might be different than what I said at the beginning, but I wouldn't take it personally when a partner does something with their new partner that they didn't do with you.
That is the opposite of what you said.
It is complete opposite.
You like really laid
I
into
did
them
a
very
whole-
hard at the top.
And it was funny.
180, 360.
Yeah.
But I just mean like, because as you said, you're a completely different person
Oh yeah.
than you were then. And it's like maybe there's just this new partner that they have, they connect on a different way or in a different level, whatever it is, that, not everyone is right for everybody. And some people are just like a better fit in some ways than others.
It's also you were 16, then you're 22, and like go like I would stop that relationship and then move on and don't dwell. I don't know. It just sounds like if you're in a place where you're dwelling on this person taking a road trip with their partner and you think that that's the crux of like your feelings, I think it's a little bit deeper than that. And
Something
like,
to investigate.
yeah. And
Yeah.
maybe like, let's take a little pause here on this friendship. And you know what? Maybe in a few years, maybe there's a friendship there.
Maybe.
But you're 22. Those are the fuckboy years.
I was going to say.
You
I
know?
don't know. Sometimes it's 28 through 30 something.
Yeah. It could be it could be, a
That's
wide
where it
range.
was for me.
Wide
Also,
range.
I don't know how they found out that she was on a road trip. I don't know if it was like casual texting, group chat, social media.
Yeah.
You don't actually know if she's having a good time.
It's very
If she
true.
just met somebody in the past 6 months, they are in the honeymoon phase. She is
Yeah.
going to say yes to a road
Wait.
trip more likely than
That's not the message. You're like, hold on. It's fake, probably.
Yeah.
it could be bullshit.
Get her back.
There's still a chance.
I'm just saying at towards the end of the 6 years, things have solidified, they're contented, maybe like I don't want to go on a road trip. New person, hey, I really love road tripping. It's my favorite thing in the world. It's like, okay, weird, but yeah,
Yeah.
I want you to like me, so I'll go. I'm just
Right.
saying you
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
necessarily, you can't just spin your wheels thinking like, oh, my ex is doing this. They're probably thinking this when they're doing it. They're probably like, that fucking joke never got to take me on a road trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we talk about road trips too for a second? Because like, like you could fly somewhere really quick.
You could.
You know
It's
what I
2023.
mean?
Yeah.
Like you could
It's just
a little more
not
convenient
be
in the car.
nowadays.
I mean, you're treated like an animal, just shuffled along like
Sure.
cargo,
But it's
but
quick.
it only takes like 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think ultimately for this question is any advice for either moving on from a relationship that you don't have any negative feelings towards, which is fair. Like I've had relationships that have ended that I've been like, yeah, it just didn't work out. But also it's healthier to maintain boundaries for yourself. And
Yeah.
if you are feeling like even a little bit of jealousy or like weirdness between you two because like they're dating someone new or experiencing something different, it's okay to cut ties. But if you don't want to do that, then I think just like maintaining those boundaries when you need to. Maybe you only text every now and then or like stay in touch, but lightly. It's probably better for your mental health to cut ties, though.
Yeah. I think it doesn't have to be so formal, too. Like, you don't have to send texts that's like, I will no longer be answering your text messages. We are not friends.
I hereby decree.
But I think just don't answer their text messages.
Yeah.
Also,
It sucks, but
6 months is not a long time.
it's not.
Like, that's not. You haven't just healed completely and gotten over a 6-year relationship in 6
Yeah.
months. Oh, it's 1 month for each year. Easy peasy, no
Yeah.
problem. I mean,
Yeah.
like, give it some time. Like, if you are really committed to sticking to the amicable buddy thing, like, I also think taking a break might be for the best. But if you don't think that's in your best interest, just trust that 6 months from now you'll probably feel better about all
definitely.
this, and then 6 months
Yeah.
from then. You'll probably feel worse again, but then it'll get better after that.
6 months after that.
It just comes in and
Just
out.
give yourself
Yeah.
2 years.
Just
Yeah.
time,
No big deal.
unfortunately.
Time.
Sorry.
But also, like, don't put the actions of your ex, like, don't let that be a reflection of you in any way. Just because they are doing something with this new partner or are, moving on in a certain way. That's no reflection of you.
Yeah.
Not what I said at the beginning, but
But it was very funny.
thank you.
Some people are not good to be stuck in a car with.
It's
I couldn't road trip with some of my best friends in the world.
Maybe they're a bad driver. Maybe the
they're a bad
person
driver.
didn't want to drive in a car with them.
16-year-old driver to 22-year-old.
To 22, yeah. there's differences.
You don't really prove
But
that.
they're stuck.
All right, let's move on to our second question. Coming in hot. This one says, I'm a 25-year-old trans woman, and I have had issues finding friends ever since coming out. I was raised in a very religious household. So much of my family and old community has cut me off. Finding friends has been a continual struggle ever since. I have met some people who have then distanced themselves from me after learning I was queer, but I also have some trouble connecting to other queer people my age. I am married. I am the mother of a young son. Lots of queer groups and events take place on weekends or are not kid-friendly spaces. I could really use some advice on how to make some new friend connections. Well, making friends as an adult sucks, period.
Yeah.
It's impossible, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys want to take this one?
Well, as a mostly straight, what not?
What did they say on the Sex and the City spinoff?
Yeah,
God.
what would Carrie say?
She would say, you'll find love wherever you go. Just look in the right corners.
Oh.
Or something. I don't know.
Something like that.
She has a
Very
podcast
greeting
on
card. Yeah.
Of course it's a podcast now.
Yeah.
It's an outer monologue.
One of the characters is dating like a non-binary person. One of the characters'
Oh.
daughter came out as, I think, also non-binary.
Slay.
But yeah, it's completely different than how Sex and the City used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, when there were no non-binary people.
Right.
No. But Samantha was there.
There you go. Not on this one.
Damn. That's rough. I mean,
Mhm.
like, I will first say that I'm not really qualified to give much advice. I don't know where this person lives,
Mm-hmm. True.
where she is in the world, whether it's a city or not. If it's a city, probably easier, but if not, that's really tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the kid makes that harder. But like, oh man. I mean, making friends is like really, really difficult in general, but also like finding like queer friends,
Yeah.
tough,
Mhm.
you know? Gosh, I mean, like,
Yeah, if you're like in a small town.
Yeah, I
I
feel
There's some
like-
context things that would be, yeah.
yeah,
know.
if you're in like a city, there's definitely all kinds of groups. Like, I find it better to like, you're not going to find as many friends in a general support group as you would in, say, like a meditation group or like
Mhm.
queer soccer or like, I don't know. I just saw that in New York, there's a T-girl baseball thing spinning up. Where
Oh,
it's just
wow.
trans girls playing baseball. But I don't know. I feel like there's stuff with that would also be more kid friendly.
Yeah.
Rather than
Mhm.
a lot of queer shit, which takes place at like bars and all that. But like, I don't even know. I feel like, honestly, like dating apps, if you're just like clear about like, hey, I'm just looking to connect with people, but I also will make out
if the moment's
if,
right.
like, if it feels right, like
My kid will be there.
my
but-
kid will be there, but like
They have an iPad though, so they'll just,
it's dark. It's actually a sensory thing, but like they I don't know. I mean, I've made a lot of friends, but just like in
the
meeting
dark.
out. No. It's all light. It's very light. I blast it with soft boxes.
Well, there's also Bumble BFF. If you guys have heard of that.
Is it a plug? This is an ad.
Is this sponsored?
It's a dating app that is, I guess they have a section that's
friends.
repurposed for friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also have Bumble Business.
Do they really?
Yeah, no, they do.
Talking about
you can,
finance.
talking about
that.
finance.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So you can
Yeah.
instead of pictures of like a trout that a guy caught, it's just charts.
Just chart graphs and
It's
everything.
a chart that he holds.
It's a line graph. Yeah.
My personality, my looks.
I think this is a tough question because it's also like you said, a lot of queer events are like at a bar, and it's not like it's like what they say about dating too. Like it's hard to meet somebody at a bar that you like actually want to have a relationship with. So
Sure.
like I think anything in the daytime is probably going to be best. But like I don't know, it seems like this person lives in a place that might not be a big city or definitely somewhere conservative.
Well, they mentioned that they grew up in a religious household.
Yeah.
And their community has essentially cut them off.
Yeah. And so it seems like they're
Which is really
actually,
tough
it
for her.
seems like they're like talking about a binary between like religious conservative people and queer people. And they're
Mhm.
making a like big distinction between those two groups. And like maybe that would be helpful to kind of get rid of. No, I'm not saying like go for the queer conservative people. I'm saying more like, you don't have to be so finite about the groups that you want to make friends with, I guess.
Sure.
Or like it doesn't have to, you can have groups of allies that you're friends with. I'm searching here. I'm trying to make
It's a
sense
tough
of
question. I feel like
don't
it's
know.
Just
even
roaming packs of allies.
Just look for ally
Yeah.
groups, and that will be good.
We stay
No,
together.
because also they said like I become friends with people, and then when they find out I'm queer, they don't want to be friends with me anymore. And I'm like, oh God, I feel for you because
Yeah.
I'm just not in that. I haven't been put in that situation. I feel very lucky to, live in LA and not have to associate with
Right.
with that type of person.
I do wonder what the extent of your like flexibility in terms of moving might be,
Mhm.
and if that's maybe something
Road trip.
to because like maybe it's just like the city you're in or the state you're in is just not a safe space for you,
Yeah.
Mhm.
or a place that you could really like feel like you could be yourself and grow and meet people.
That's so tough though.
It's so
Especially with the
especially-
kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes it like 8 times harder at least.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like in situations like that, it maybe behooves you more to like try to turn more to online communities.
Yeah.
There's whole Discord groups. Like I've been in multiple like queer, and it's not how I can't do that. I can't really make friends just through like Discords of people on screens. I can't just jump into voice chats, like
Oh,
whatever anxiety that is. But unfortunately, as I've realized in my personal life, making friends takes effort.
unfortunately, it's
so,
not like you're
like-
just in the same class in school or something.
I know, or
that.
like working at the same company, digital media company, where I found some of my closest friends.
All my friends are through work, basically. All of my adult friends are through the company I work for. That's
yeah,
it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, damage to breaks.
Yeah.
But like,
you're not
yeah.
here to brag, okay?
Yeah, I've got upwards of 2 friends.
Whoa.
And they have the same job as me. Yeah, I just feel like even if that like is something that makes you uncomfortable, it probably would help. Like
Yeah.
finding like because it's not a support group. It's like, I don't know if you game, but like you don't have to. Like I'm in Discords of just, random people that are just aligned by musicians, other people that make music, and they have got book clubs and meme channels and just all kinds of shit. What fit the outfit of the day, all that.
Fandoms, I think that's a big thing.
Fandoms,
like,
yeah.
find
Yeah.
creators that you like and then, associate with those fandoms. I think
Mhm.
that like you can find a lot of community based in what you like to watch.
That's
online.
actually a really good
Something
idea.
to talk
Yeah.
about. All Good Noise, for instance.
Exactly. That's one fandom
Yeah.
where we have
You're mythical.
or mythical or Funhouse or but I was going to suggest something very old school, which is Facebook. I actually joined a women over 30 Facebook group, like women over 30 in Austin Facebook group. I haven't been to a single event, but I get like the little notifications of like, we're going to be going to the park and doing this, or we have like a big group reservation at this place. Anybody who wants to come, which again, I'm too socially anxious to do those so far. Maybe someday, but maybe there's something like that in the city or state that you live in that you could look into. Facebook groups for everything these days.
Facebook is terrifying to me.
Yeah.
I got off of Facebook during 2016.
Yeah.
I have not been back to Facebook.
I don't blame you.
That was smart.
Yeah.
I keep it just because I got an Oculus and I had to link with it. But I think I don't even need to do that now. I think I could actually get rid of it, but I forget it exists half the time.
The only reason I remember I have Facebook is because I'll get the notification that group sent a message.
I mean, it is like, I briefly during COVID became more involved in the community I lived in here in LA, which is in Playa del Rey. And like,
what's your address?
It actually had a fraction in it.
Wow.
Yeah, which made getting anything mailed to me was awesome.
Oh, I bet.
But like well, actually, you know what? That's a bad example because I didn't really get involved in like a amicable way to that Facebook group. I was actually collecting intel.
Oh wow!
On a group of like weird NIMBYs that beat up a guy and kicked him out of a park. So I got into the Facebook group and just started collecting evidence.
Yeah. Another reason now.
But it was fun. Yeah, espionage is great. Yeah, and I had Zooms with people.
What's that app that's for neighborhoods?
Oh,
Next Door.
Next Door.
Yeah,
my partner is obsessed with that. Like she gets so much news from.
It's just
I should
Next
check
Door.
that out.
Next Door
I
is,
think if you want to spy on people,
Which I do.
yeah, definitely.
it's very
great.
fun, and it's also just a lot of
Yeah.
people complaining about things that they don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to complain about.
Yeah.
But
Or we had
Someone's
a
dog took a shit on my lawn.
Yeah, we had a bear, an actual real bear,
Jesus.
who triggered our Ring cam
My
the other
God.
day, and my partner
This was the
like,
top of the U.S. Bank Tower.
Yeah, my address is, and that's the type of shit my partner gets so excited about. And she's like, I have a post for Next Door now, and she posted the video, and like she's like the celebrity of the neighborhood with this bear video.
That's amazing.
And so to make friends, you could just find bear videos and
Sure.
different kind of bear videos.
is that too niche, or is that
Just posting
that's
Ring camera
relatable?
videos from WeHo.
Yeah.
Found another bear. Otter sighting.
Hey, there's an audience for everything. Maybe that'll work. Who knows? I just think ultimately, like making friends as an adult is just hard.
It really
Period.
is. And then you get to a point where you don't want to make any more friends because you're like, I don't know, I don't want to go out.
Or you
I don't
go,
know, I'm 35. I don't want to. I just want to like go on a walk.
Yeah.
You know,
Little walks. Yeah.
like a walk.
I want to read a book.
Yeah.
Maybe pass around a joint in the park.
I want to read a book so hard.
Oh God, I want to turn some pages.
I'm gonna cook dinner. You know,
Damn, I want to
by myself.
pet my cat and stand on the balcony and just kind of take in the fresh air.
Everyone in your
Yeah.
early 20s, get ready because it's the prime of your life.
Yeah.
It literally is the best.
I mean, but I'm just as insular and much of a homebody as I was back then.
Have
I just
you always
feel
been
less
that way?
social pressure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just always felt like I should go out and do more.
Mm.
I mean, I like
Mhm.
going to like parties, but I was in marching band, so we had
Mm.
parties where everyone already knew each other
Mm.
in college.
Oh,
So you just add water or other liquids, 200 people party.
yeah.
Just have
Other
water.
liquids. I feel like I was always that way.
I hate
What
doing
way?
shit.
Like
homebody or
homebody didn't really care too much about like making a ton of friends, but felt the social pressure of like having to go out and like FOMO.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like as I've gotten into my 30s, FOMO, I just don't really have it anymore.
I don't care. Yeah.
Sometimes I get JOMO, the joy of
Joy of
missing
missing out.
out, where I'm just like, that
Yeah.
looks like it would have been
Sounds like
chaotic and
another restaurant.
sweaty and
That looks horrible.
yeah.
Yeah. My friend was like, "Why don't we do Pride?" And I was like, "What if we don't?"
Yeah.
And so I just
Isn't
we went
it
to
yeah.
Dyke Day.
Okay. I
Yeah.
couldn't even bring myself.
Honestly,
Because they were like, oh, the parking's really bad. I was like, well, no, can't
the,
do it.
the parking was
I'm just going to have to
awful.
be
Yeah.
prideful in my house.
But it was most of the people there we're sitting down
Yeah.
like on blankets. And I was like, okay, this is the level of like pride shit I can
Yes.
do.
Yeah.
I went to the first Dyke Day, which was like maybe a dozen people
Yeah.
having a picnic and,
That
and a
sounds
park.
It's
perfect.
basically
that was
but
great.
now it's 400
But now
people
it's a
having
lot of
picnic.
people.
It was
That's so
overwhelming.
many
And
people.
also in today's climate, you know, being in a big crowd of
Oh,
people,
yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that is, yes, sitting down on a blanket outside, lovely. That
Yes,
sounds great.
And that's just to say, I will always take the tact of presenting a different chiller option.
Mhm.
It's like, we want to go out. And it's like, what if we wait and we just get brunch?
Yes, brunch is great.
It's like literally the best.
Yeah, I love brunch.
Anywhere you could
I-
sit down is nice.
I used to like to go out though, like in that fuckboy period of time. Like
Yeah.
I actually really did enjoy it. And then now I recently went to like a new cool bar, like the it bar now that is not the it bar that I went to when I was in my mid
It's a different it
20s.
bar.
It's a different it bar. And I went there with a guy friend of mine, and there was like a double table of like cool looking lesbians right when we walked up. And I was like, oh my God. One, they're 10 years younger than me. I also have a problem with knowing like, I think we're like chill. I think we're like
I
the
have
same age,
no
but really
idea
like
anymore.
you're very young, I'm sure. But also I was like, when I went to the bar 10 years ago, I was the only lesbian at the cool bar. What are all you doing
Yeah,
here? Yeah. Anyway, so that's why I don't go out. There's just too many lesbians out. It's
Yeah.
just too
Well,
But the
I
person
went
who
to-
wrote the question,
you
usually
should bring
are.
down the
Scale down the
representation.
lesbians.
That'd be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
We need to give
Market's too
white
flooded
cis
now.
gay men a little bit more screen time.
Yeah.
Let's just push it back towards like 2011
Where are all the movies with the
representation.
white cis
Yeah.
straight man
Yeah.
lead?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know. I just feel like whenever I walk into like a cool bar, I feel like I'm walking into an Old West saloon and the honky tonk stops and everyone turns around. Like, especially if it's like a lesbian bar, I'm like, am I?
I haven't been to a lesbian bar in a long. There's like I saw a
That
TikTok
new
that was like,
one.
there's only 5 lesbian bars here. I'm like, bitch. When I was growing up, there was
There's
no
only
lesbian
none.
bars. But yeah, I haven't been to like the wine one.
The wine one is the one I went to a couple
Okay.
weeks ago, and that I did have a little Old West saloon, but also I think that's just everyone looks at whoever comes in. 'cause
That's-
it's got
yeah, it's like a
weird
meat
kind of
market
communal
situation,
Exactly,
yeah.
And it was cool, but like it was very much like okay. Oh, there was. Did you hear about the woman that was fundraising to make a lesbian bar in LA, but she just took the money and ran?
Oh, that's cool.
It was like those like pride events for hot Donnas was
Okay.
the name of the bar. And like it was all
What?
this talk like, we're going to the beach, we're going to Pan Pacific Park, there's like an outdoor thing, we're having events, we're putting on comedy nights, we're putting on a pop-up dance club in downtown that I went to and I got COVID. And then like there's like post about it. It's like 2021. And then just it just kind of dries up.
Huh.
And like I never heard anything. And then someone told me later, it was like, oh yeah, she
She's
literally
pocketed the
left
money?
LA.
Holy
Huh.
shit.
Yeah, which like I respect the scammer, but her problem was she resurfaced after everyone caught on.
Oh.
And she was like, that's actually not the case, guys. It's actually really expensive to start a restaurant. And we spent all the money on the events. And it was like, you should have just stayed quiet.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just a little bit of tea
Anyway.
for people interested in the scandals of lesbian restaurateuring.
I feel we should do a whole episode on that.
Yeah. Click, click,
You
click.
can talk about
The
local
one.
LA restaurant scandals. I got a couple. Yeah.
Really? Do you?
Yeah. Well, there was
I
the
didn't realize there
jam
was so many.
scandal at Squirrel.
Yeah.
Those are all
Yeah,
words I don't
dude.
know what that means.
Sorry, I
There
keep
was a-
kicking you.
There was a black site
Oh.
jam kitchen in the back of a Los
God.
Feliz cafe where they all
Like
we were
you
making.
didn't. Oh, yeah. You don't live in LA. Yeah.
I feel like even if I lived here, I wouldn't know about it because I just
Well,
like, not cool.
It,
It,
well, I mean,
it was a
shook the
good
foundation of the
restaurant.
city.
It was a good.
was.
It
I
like
had-
it was
I
like
had-
delicious.
there were squirrels?
Yeah, there were squirrels and everything.
You can see the tail came out of it like a Looney Tunes recipe where it's like, oh, this looks.
It's called squirrel.
Yeah,
It's called
SQRL.
Squirrels are delicious.
And
But
Is it something
yeah,
about
it came
jam?
out that
No.
they had a literally a kitchen in the back that was not on the plans as a kitchen with no regulations. The health
Oh,
department didn't even know
God.
it existed. And they were saying that they were canning their jams off site. But actually they were making jams in the back and jams were getting moldy. So they would just scrape the mold into a
Yeah.
mold bucket. And there was a picture going around of the mold bucket, which wasn't published because it was so gross.
Yeah, they moved past it though. They're still
in business.
They're still doing it. But Courage Bagels is have you been to Courage Bagels?
No, I haven't.
Is there another scandal at Courage Bagels?
No, it's just so good.
Oh,
The scandal.
okay.
The
It's
bagels so
scandalously good. Yeah.
I
The
did
opposite of the mold bucket.
we have a sub series on Good Mythical Morning where it's all about the episode was about my favorite foods, and one round was about bagels with lox because I'm Jewish. And this one place, Courage Bagels, has Montreal style bagels, which is like the crumb of
Jewish
the bagel.
Canadian.
Oh,
I'm a Jewish Canadian from Montreal.
Okay, so the bagel's like perfect in every way. The vegetables on top are like farmers market fresh. They smoke their own fish. It's so good.
Oh my God.
And I talked about it on Good Mythical Morning, and then that episode came out, and like a week later, I went to get a bagel.
Bumping?
And I was waiting for, it's always bumping.
Okay.
There's always a line that's like an hour long. That's
Wow.
the fucked up part. And I was waiting for my bagel, and I heard my name, and I was like, this is unusual for me. And it was a fan of the show who was visiting LA, who watched the episode in which I said Courage Bagels was my favorite place,
my
and this is
God.
my order. And he was there having my order after watching the episode, and then I was there. And it was just like the perfect freaking moment.
That is cool.
That is
It was
awesome.
like the coolest fan interaction ever.
I do like if you gave him the impression that you are always there.
Yeah.
Like
You
he
mention
went
it,
it's
and then you're there.
Well, there's Stevie, of course, at Courage Bagel.
Yeah.
Morning
it was
routine.
So cool. It was awesome. And I was like, how's your bagel? And he was like, great. And he's like, did you tell them that you mentioned them on the show? And I was like, they don't give a fuck. So absolutely not.
I mean, I think
they
would
have
care.
a line that is an hour long, regardless
probably
of
like,
whether or
"You
not
can
I
smoke
mention them. So yeah.
Wow.
But
I love it
Yeah.
when stuff like that happens.
yeah. It was
I
cool.
always
Yeah.
feel like a celebrity when I go in towards the end of closing at a bagel place and they just give me a bunch of leftover ones.
I need to do that.
Because, you know, they're going to have to toss a lot of
Yeah.
them because they get stale. And they're just like, here, take half a dozen bagels. You're like,
What time does Courage Bagels close?
well, there's also Pop's Bagels in Culver, which is, have you been?
It's too far west for me.
Wow.
I just
Well, they do a
can't.
lock spread where they just dice it up and mix it in the cream cheese. And
I
put
like
it on,
that.
and it's quite
Okay,
good.
I might make the
If
trip.
you end up over there, you think
Okay.
we got the Erewhon, we got the Trader Joe's,
We're
we
going
got
to find someone who
Wendy's.
watches this show over there when
I
you guys go.
It's so hard.
Salt and straw. There's a
go
salt and straw
west.
over there.
Yeah.
You know, Postmates.
Listen, I don't
We could
like
talk
being
about
on the
food
west
forever.
side either.
Yeah.
But
You're trying
at
to
least
sell
I
it.
know where the bagels are.
Sure. Yeah.
Sam's, they don't want to be there. They don't want you to be there. The bagels are good.
Never been.
Well, they shouldn't make them good if they don't want people there.
I'm saying.
It's very counterintuitive. All right. Well, you've plenty of restaurants to try out now if you ever come to the LA
Only
area.
bagels, though.
Only bagels.
And mold.
Well, thank you both for joining me today
Thank
on this episode of
you.
Always Open. Stevie, where can people find you if you want to plug anything that you're doing or any projects you're working on?
Yeah. Good Mythical Morning every Monday through Friday. YouTube.com/Good Mythical Morning. You can hear my voice.
You do podcasts and stuff too, right?
I canceled my podcast.
Never mind. You do this
You
podcast.
did podcast.
You
Don't
can listen to a bunch of episodes of my podcast, Best Friends Back All Right. It's about me and my best friend from high school. We didn't have contact with each other for 15 years, and then we reconnected and did a podcast together, and it's pretty cool. And there's an episode where I talk about like my coming out journey, and it was cool to talk about with her because she had a different perspective. So
Oh, wow.
I'll plug that episode if you want to go check that out.
That'd be great.
But if you want a good laugh, Good Mythical Morning.
Fantastic. And Charlotte, anything you would like to plug?
Yeah, I also have a canceled podcast you can
do.
listen to. It's called Ship Hits the Fan. It's about shipwrecks,
Yeah.
and much like the subjects we covered, it rests at the bottom of the podcasting sea, preserved by the cold, cold waters and a lack of wood-eating microbacteria. Also, though, you can listen to my ongoing projects. You can listen to Mom's Home, my music, my band. I'm promise we're going to put out new music soon. It's tough to get people to mix it in a way that I like it, but
But you do have music available.
But I do have music available. Yes, you can
Yes.
stream it wherever. And it shouldn't get canceled because it's mine and
Yeah.
I get to decide that. And also watch my show here on All Good No Worries.
Please be nice
Please
to
be
me.
nice to me.
Absolutely. Once a month.
Once a month.
Who knows? Maybe more at some point.
Uh,
Just kidding.
I'm going to need help
You need
if we want to do that. We just shot an episode yesterday. It's very fun.
I can't wait
It's
to
very
see it.
fun. You
Yeah.
should come on the show.
Okay.
There,
Done.
Easy. That's
Please be nice to me.
business.
Done.
A
We'll talk
game
about the
show.
finances later.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you both for joining me today. It was wonderful talking to you. Thank you guys for watching the show. We appreciate you being here. If you like it, give a follow to the All Good No Worries YouTube channel. Subscribe for Always Open every single Tuesday and other shows like Please Be Nice to Me every Thursday. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Maybe another show.
I don't know what. Yeah.
Covering your bases.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Every time.
That was fun.